Dragon Age the Veilguard releases in about a month and a half's time, and BioWare have been showing more of it. Again, there was a long period where they were barely showing the game. They seemed scared to show it, like they weren't confident in their product, but they've been showing a bit more. That being said, it's been quite a curated showing. They've got a exclusive marketing deal with IGN. So only IGN at this stage are promoting the game. It's not like they're sending out copies to bunches of different outlets and we're getting, I guess, an unbiased reaction. We're getting some different opinions. It's purely from IGN, which basically means that IGN are just doing puff pieces for BioWare. They've been paid, or IGN have paid to cover the game, so it's in both their interests to utterly praise the game, shill for the game, tell you it's going to be the best thing ever, BioWare's back. So you can't really trust anything. However, they have been sharing new gameplay footage, and that's giving people an idea of how it really looks, how does it feel, the vibe, all of those sorts of things. And I've said this for a while, but I think even people who are sort of optimistic, they're Dragon Age fans, they're willing to come back to the series, they haven't lost all faith in BioWare, even those people, they're very on the fence. They keep an open mind, but nothing they've really seen they've liked. It doesn't have the Dragon Age vibe. The combat, nothing like the older games, Origins, for instance, that people do love. Nothing there really grabbing them. And then there are the people, they're a very small minority, which explains the poor pre-order sales and things like that. A very small minority of people who've already decided that they love the game, it's the best thing ever, this is the redemption of BioWare, and if you don't agree, if you're looking at the game and you don't like it, you are racist, you're this, you're that. They're already insulting people who are a bit skeptical because they've decided that this is going to be the greatest RPG of the year. There is simply no doubt. The problem with this opinion that I see is the people who are pushing that, and we could call it like toxic positivity, those people, they can't actually pinpoint what it is that they're super excited about. Like, if you ask them, what is it about the Veilguard? They'll say, oh, I love BioWare, or I love the series. And you say, no, I'm looking for specifics about this game, the footage we've been shown, or even just what we've been told about. What is it that you're loving? Once you hit them with that, you'll start to realize these people don't really care about games at all. They've got other things on their mind. For instance, for them, one of the most exciting things is the diverse cast. Don't care. No one really cares outside of your bubble. We want a good game. The characters do not look interesting. The interactions we've seen in the footage, the gameplay footage, they don't make us curious. They look lame. The entire game looks stupid. So that's not selling us. Diverse cast, no one really cares. The other one is the accessibility features. Now, they're fine. They're not selling anyone on the game. They only enhance the game for people who need them if the game is actually good, and you have not shown that. It looks crap. Most of the reactions I'm seeing, neutral reactions from people who don't really care about Dragon Age, they are uninterested. They're turning away. You haven't convinced them, even with the IGN shill marketing. But maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I've gone in with bias, I just don't get it. Maybe there is an incredible feature that I've overlooked, and that is why this article is relevant. Dragon Age the Veilguard has one of the best features I've ever seen. Pretty high praise. You'd probably be thinking, is there a combat feature we didn't know about? Or is there some sort of system around the choice and consequence, something in there, something very RPG focused that BioWare, who used to be innovators, have included in the game? What could this be? This makes me very, very curious. If we go through it, it doesn't get off to a good start. I am not really a Dragon Age person. I only played bits and pieces of 1 and 3. And for some reason, I played all of 2 because it was short. I'm probably going to play Veilguard a bit, but the more I see from it, the more I'm impressed. And I am impressed with one of its features specifically, so doesn't even like Dragon Age Origins from the sounds of it. So this is really someone we're going to look to when it comes to praising the game. He goes on to say, the streamlined, not quite Fortnite-ish art style got a lot of criticism when it was first shown off. But in recent content, it's looked better. No, it hasn't. You're just shilling for the game because it politically aligns with your garbage. We keep seeing this. It's now shown off one aspect of the new look. That's exceptional. It's hair tech. Yes, hair tech. So this is the big feature. It's nothing to do with RPGs. It's not even something that's sort of in your face all the time. Like Baldur's Gate 3 had the motion capture, which was quite impressive. I think it was a good marketing tool for them. People saw the game, it looked good. But in BioWare's case, it's literally just the hair. And there's a lot here. For instance, this tweet that's been shared in this article, Shinobi602. If you don't know this person, friends with the devs, was hyping up even Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem because, again, just shills for BioWare, basically. Saying that Anthem, it's going to be the greatest game ever, this is what BioWare always wanted to make. It comes out, it stinks, and this person just quietly disappears. And now he's back again hyping up the Veilguard. But this is literally the only feature that these people can say with a straight face looks good, because deep down they know everything else about the game is embarrassing. The combat sucks. Like, BioWare are on the defensive about it. Like, they're not saying we've got great combat. They're saying, hey, it's not as bad as you think. Look at this high-level combat. They don't sound very confident in it. The story sounds pretty stupid. The characters, they'll bang on about the diversity, of course, all these positives, but deep down, they know that the characters, they're pretty embarrassing as well. So there's really nothing positive except for the hair. There is one thing that you need to know about the hair, or the hair tech, whatever we want to call it. They're sort of saying it like BioWare are definitely competent. Like, if you had concerns that this is going to be another Mass Effect Andromeda, where the motion capture, the facial animations, they look like a bad puppet show, don't you worry, be confident, because look at what they're doing with this hair. What you really need to know, though, is BioWare didn't really create this hair, right? I had a bit of a look into it, and it seems like because the Veilguard is being made in Frostbite, EA's own engine that they developed, the FIFA team over there, I think it's got a different name now, like EA Football or something like that, but basically the FIFA team, which is probably one of the teams with the biggest budgets at EA, they're the ones who created the hair tech, the hair system. They built it, and they basically gave it to BioWare for them to use, to make the game look a bit better. So don't think for a second that the BioWare devs, talented, competent, that they created this system themselves. Maybe they did some work on it and they used the tools and made the characters look decent in terms of hair. But that's it. They used an existing system that EA had already built with the FIFA team. So if this is the only thing that you're praising, you're basically just praising the Frostbite engine. You're praising EA. This has nothing to do with BioWare. There is no evidence of BioWare actually developing anything competent with this game. Nothing looks good. If it did, you'd be talking about that. You'd be talking about a great quest that was shown, a great area, talking about the story. You're not. You're talking about the friggin' hair, and they didn't create it. Now, if we talk quickly about the latest impression of the game that IGN gave, again, IGN, they're basically shills of the month. They've got exclusive marketing rights for the Veilguard, so it's not like BioWare sent out the Veilguard to every influencer and everyone's giving their opinions. They've curated it, so only IGN can talk about the game this month, which, once again, it means that they're only going to talk positively about it. There's no way that IGN are going to say anything negative about the Veilguard, and you can see that in their preview. I think there's a video of it, but there's also text where they basically shill every aspect of the game. They don't say anything bad. This was quite telling. For instance, they're talking about choice and consequence. Speaking of consequences, it quickly became clear to me that there would consistently be tons of choices in the Veilguard that'll have lasting results. It probably seems like I'm stating the obvious here, but I got the sense that even more of these kinds of choices might be peppered throughout than the usual BioWare game. Well, what's usual about this? Because they haven't made an RPG of this nature for 10 years. How many of the employees who work there now were actually there the last time they made an RPG with Inquisition, Mass Effect 3? Probably not that many outside of a handful of senior leadership. I know they fired a lot of people, there's been a lot of layoffs. For all intents and purposes, it's basically a new team, I would assume. Right at the beginning, for instance, I made a decision that led to Harding getting injured, and she remained bruised up for the remainder of the next couple of hours. I felt like a real jerk about it, and that was probably the point. Dragon Age the Veilguard seemed to be telling me right from the start that I'm going to feel like a jerk a lot. There's just one problem with this. The actual consequence, it's fine to have in the game. Like, I used Baldur's Gate 3 as an example before. That happens in Baldur's Gate 3 where you make a choice and it only really has a visual impact on your character. But the difference is, in something like Baldur's Gate, there's a lot of choices that you make that actually affect the content within the game, like what comes next. If you make a choice, maybe it leads you down a different path where there's different conversations, there's different characters, the outcomes are totally different. You think of something like Fallout New Vegas, very similar, where there's different factions. Maybe you side with one, it really changes things. This example, and you're sort of pointing to it, this IGN person pointing to it, like, whoa, like the choices, the consequences. It's purely something visual, probably takes the artist like 30 minutes to put into the game. There you go, that's your choice. It doesn't affect anything, really. I bet the game plays out almost identical, regardless of what decision you make, whether Harding's got a bruise or doesn't have a bruise. This is really just a novelty. It's not going to be selling anyone on the RPG aspects of the game that people are already concerned about. You need to be convincing people this isn't going to do it. I also found this pretty funny. So Kat Bailey, she's the IGN news director, and she's the one who seems to have posted this preview that we were just talking about, the IGN preview, and says, I played Dragon Age along with Alex at IGN. I'm in agreement with her. Very impressive. Shocked, given you got the exclusive marketing rights. Like, you are compromised by money. No one believes you. And even forgetting the marketing deal, this is IGN. No one trusts you anyway. That's reflective in the comments as well. No one does trust them. No one cares what IGN thinks. But there was something interesting here too, because the top comment, I was excited until I saw the rainbow. Fuck. But if we look, there is no rainbow in Kat Bailey's name now. And I did talk about this person in a previous video, and I was puzzled because I did remember the rainbow flag being there as well, and someone confirms that in a screenshot. Oh, we can definitely trust you, Kat Bailey, with the rainbow flag. Now, the Dragon Age Veilguard director is also trans, as this person is, and I've kind of gotten the sense that people like Kat, the supposed fans of the Veilguard who are pumped for it, I get the feeling they don't really care about the game itself. They see the game succeeding as a win for trans rights, a win for diversity, progressive values in games, and we need this to happen to push the culture forward. We've had too many losses with Concord and Suicide Squad, Dustborn, or a million games like this, Sweet Baby games. They've all flopped, so we need the Veilguard to succeed, or else maybe we won't get ESG money anymore. There's just some sort of agenda that you can blatantly see. And this Kat Bailey person, they did remove the rainbow flag from their name. Why did they do it? Did they remove it because they were getting bullied? Maybe they'll claim that, but I kind of get the feeling that money's starting to talk, and people like this are being told, keep your political views to yourself. If gamers now see that you're promoting the Veilguard and you've got the trans flag, you're pushing DEI stuff, they're not going to want to spend money on it. So just stop. Maybe Concord, with how much it lost. I saw earlier 250 million potentially it lost. Maybe that has given these organizations a reality check. I think they'll rebrand all of that and they'll keep pushing all the social stuff. But for now, maybe it can be a win. But we'll end on this, because good old Reset Era, of course, they love this game as well, because the Veilguard supports their worldview. Again, a win for trans rights, that's all they care about. They don't care about good RPGs. They're starting to panic a bit as well. And this person says, I'm just worried about the possibility of the game getting review bombed. I'd hate for that to happen, but I feel like it's inevitable, the way these people are. That to me just translates to, you know the game looks crap and people are going to give it a bad review. You're just coping because you love the message the game is sending. You share the beliefs, the political beliefs of the people who are creating it. You want it to succeed for that reason, and now you're upset because the game just looks like a bomb. It doesn't look appealing at all. And the next person says, the way it's looking with all the grifter anti-woke YouTubers going hard on it, this seems inevitable. Now, this is always the big conspiracy. These people believe that people make YouTube videos saying this is bad or this is woke, and they're doing that to manipulate everyone. People would actually like these products, but the YouTubers, they're pulling the wool over everyone's eyes and tricking you into thinking that the Veilguard looks crap. Maybe the truth is that the game looks bad, everyone can see it, so therefore most people would prefer to see videos that align with their opinion. That makes sense. That's how most people are. It's interesting as well that these people, they only bring this up when it's a situation where they're the minority. They love some game, apparently, and everyone's shitting on it. Oh, it's because everyone was paid, everyone's corrupt. Why is it then that no one was doing this with Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, all of these different games? That, oh no, if it's Dragon Age, there must be some conspiracy going on. And he continues, a lot of places on the internet, the discourse about this game is an absolute mess. Being a pretty universally liked game is the only way to combat it, unfortunately, so hopefully this vocal minority is silenced come October 31st. Total Cope suggesting that the majority of people are interested in this, and it's a small minority who are criticizing it. Most of the trailers have more dislikes than likes. People are heavily shitting on it. They're already talking about maybe when it's on a sale, there's no way I'm getting it at launch. And even those people, if it wasn't for the Dragon Age name, no one would be going anywhere near it. It looks absolutely terrible. It's relying on legacy, and yet even these people, the shills for the game, all around the internet, they've got nothing genuinely positive to say. When the hair tech is the only thing that you can praise, you know the game is in trouble. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.